If you're running a small business or a home office, odds are you're coming quite often to a place like this. But in the past, you might have been looking for file folders and staples, while as today, you're probably shopping for a laser printer or computer software. Today, we'll focus on small business computing, software for startups, on this edition of the Computer Chronicles.
Computer Chronicles is brought to you in part by Intel, microprocessor technology for the software of today and tomorrow. Intel, the computer inside. Additional funding is provided by the Software Publishers Association, providers of educational materials to help manage software. Don't copy that floppy. And by Hewlett-Packard, Personal Computer Division.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stewart CHEIFET, and with me today is Tim Berry, president of Palo Alto Software. Tim, we're talking about small business computing and software for the small business or home office. And before you get to the accounting and the mailing lists and all the rest of that stuff, it's probably a good idea to put together a business plan, which is what you specialize in. And your approach here with the business plan toolkit is kind of interesting. I can use my own spreadsheet, my own word processor, and use this as an add-on to develop the plan. Show me how I do that.
Well, the main goal is two goals. One, that anybody who can run a business can do a business plan. And two, that it be a real plan that helps them plan and manage their business.
Don't just fill in the blanks for somebody else.
Exactly. Not boilerplate, not computer doing the thinking, the business person doing the thinking.
Show me one of the benefits here of using a computerized business plan.
And we do the mechanics with the software. Now here we're looking at a cash analysis chart. We've got a custom menu here that's in Excel that shows tables and charts of a business plan.
So it's the Excel engine, but your interface, really.
And we've customized it so you don't have to know Excel. You do have to know your business, though.
Let's look at the cash analysis chart.
Well, see, the green bars there show that right now things are fine.
Always have a positive cash balance.
No checks are going to bounce. But we're going to go over here and use the menu to go to general assumptions.
Yeah, let's see what the assumptions were that led to that. And one assumption was that I'm going to get paid in 30 days. Huh?
And, of course, the assumptions are critical.
These days that may not happen.
People don't always get paid in 30 days. And if we change this assumption to make it more realistic,
let's see what the consequences to my cash flow
then we can go back to that same chart and we can see whether or not our cash is still okay.
And it's not.
And of course it's not, because that's the way business works. And now if we had time, we'd go back to the business plan and look at other assumptions and what impacts that and correct the business plan in time before you run into a cash flow problem.
Exactly. All right, Tim, today we'll try to get you past the business plan and up and running with a look at accounting software and other basic business applications. If you're selling a product in your business, you have potential customers and clients, and one thing a computer can do is help you keep track of those clients. One program that does that is Client Track from Whiskey Hill Software.
ProAction is a small business that sells experience. They provide self-esteem and team training to thousands of groups from companies around the world. Some come to this ropes course in the California redwoods, and some go on mountain climbing and safari expeditions in far-flung locations. All this requires a lot of work to keep track of client contacts. ProAction does it with a program called Client Track.
Mail merge is an aspect of Client Track that we have found really helpful, because at ProAction we're very flexible in our design, but we're a very small, lean team. And so we don't have a huge overhead or huge administrative staff to be handling the minutia of follow-up letters, contract details, even thank you notes. And Client Track allows us to do that in a very personal way.
Client Track also provides an address book and a notes section next to each client's name and phone number listing.
I don't even need to dial the phone anymore. I simply click on the telephone number and the modem runs it through my telephone and the client answers. Or if it's busy, I make a note and then call them back later.
The use of sales and client management software is thought to increase efficiency by about 30%. One of the reasons is the computer's ability to extend your mind's capacity to remember details.
Just think about how many people can you keep in your mind at one time, maybe 100, 200, 300. If that's all that you can remember with paper and just thinking in your head, Client Track will help you by leveraging your mind. It leverages you, gives you the ability to expand your client base from maybe 300 people to 1,000 people. And the way it does that is it helps you to maintain the same rapport with 1,000 people that you might have retained with 300.
Client Track is currently available for the Macintosh with a Windows version in development for late 1994 release.
I think the program is excellent for small business folk. For those of us who aren't software devotees, we just have the answers. We don't need to think about it.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm JANELLE Patterson.
Well, not all businesses can be exciting as that one, but regardless of your business, you've got to keep track of money going out and hopefully money coming in. To help you do that, we're going to look at 2 small business accounting programs with the help of Brandon and Taylor of Computer Associates and also over there Dale Raleigh of Bestware. Brandon, let's start with you and Simply Accounting from CA. And first of all, who is this designed for? What size small business?
It's designed for any business from small, like mom and pop, to the large corporations, or I should say medium-sized businesses.
So even hundreds of employees or just mom and pop?
Exactly.
All right, give us an idea how you would use Simply Accounting.
Well, as you'll see, this is the using date. This is the date that's associated with your journal transactions, so you'll change that on a regular basis.
So make sure the date is right because that's going to be tied into all your entries now.
When you post it, that's the date.
So we have
we'll post.
ledgers and journals.
Right, you have all your ledgers and journals right on screen. And we have a feature called DDE, Dynamic Data Exchange. It allows you to take information from Simply Accounting to another Windows-based application that functions as a client. And when you change the information in Simply Accounting, it's also going to change in that other application.
And you can set that up ahead of time so that linking is dynamic.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you'll notice that you have all of your ledgers and journals. And in our general ledger, you can enter up to 5,000 ledger accounts, 32,000 transactions. And you can have account balances up to $999 million. So you see there's a lot of room for growth. As you can see, we have all of the basic accounting
all the
reports,
kinds of reports you would need.
Your balance sheet, your income statement, your trial balance. We also offer the ability to print the W-2s. And we have a special report which will give you the employees' payroll detail, so you can see what their gross pay was.
So this will handle payroll and also give you all the personnel summaries you would need.
Exactly, to fill out all the reports that you have to give to the government. And you don't need to be an accountant to use the program. You can just have your data entry clerk enter the information, because you have all the pop-up and pull-down menus make it so easy to enter the information. One of the neat features that is, for instance, we're going to enter a sales invoice here.
Okay.
So we choose our customer, and we have also what is called cash sale. Simply can function either as an accrual system or a cash basis system. And this cash sale is available for both systems.
All right, so we're doing an invoice now?
We're doing an invoice. And say I got check 1234 from my customer, I would put that in there, and later on I could search back to say, okay, you paid me with check number 1234. And in our item field, we're going to choose our inventory item. And it fills in the detail. You put in the quantity, and it multiplies that for the price, puts in the revenue account. And you can also enter in a non-inventory item with an inventory item. Now, before you post your invoice, though, you do want to print it. Go to the File menu and choose Print. Once you post the invoice, it will automatically update the general journal. That's what we call integration. The integration part of the program makes using Simply very simple. It also is more time efficient because you don't have to batch or transfer anything to the general journal.
So everything automatically moves between the ledgers and the journals and so on, so the accounting is sort of done underneath for you.
Exactly. It's all integrated, so you just do one thing and it updates everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we also have a project module that allows you to keep track of the revenue and expenses incurred on a job. We'll go down and take a look at one of those projects. So we want the detailed information, and we want to go back to, say, March. And we'll just take a look at everybody.
So you can really do project accounting here in addition to everything
Exactly.
else.
It allows you to keep track of those expenses.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. Let's take a look at another approach to doing small business accounting. Dale, how you doing? And, okay, you have MYOB, Mind Your Own Business, very clever title for the program. You saw what we just did with the CA version. How would MYOB be different?
Well, most of the accounting systems that you'll find on the market really have done a real good job of taking 500 years of double entry accounting history, the debits and credits and journals and ledgers and posting, and put that into a computer and automated that. But what we've done is taken a real different tact. What we've done is we've taken the basics of running a business, invoicing customers, printing purchase orders, and all of the things that a business does on a day in, day out basis, automated those things with all of the accounting in the background. So we've taken the managing a business standpoint rather than the accounting standpoint.
Okay, so a little less accounting oriented, but still covering all the accounting functions.
Exactly.
Show me what you mean inside the program.
Well, as far as the learning curve is concerned, we've organized the business into the basic functions. You have a checkbook, sales, purchases, payroll, inventory, a card file for keeping track of customers and vendors and employees, as well as an administration section. We've also really taken advantage of the technology by offering a video help system. So if you have a CD-ROM drive and you're learning the program, you can click on Invoice Sales and video help will come on and explain how to create an invoice.
Invoices can be for items or for services.
All right, so we've got audio that will help us through, and it's actually rolling through different forms.
Exactly,
and
and it's all context sensitive.
Yeah.
We also ship a videotape inside to help people get started, because that seems to be the hardest problem.
All right, show us how you would use the software itself.
Well, for instance, creating an invoice. To create an invoice, you can go in and hit the first letter of a customer, or just hit the tab key. It brings up the customer information. You tell it how many of something you want to ship. If you don't know the part numbers, it'll tell you what's on hand for those part numbers. Choose that. It'll calculate the invoice out. It'll record it. You can always trace back to that original invoice even after it's been recorded and paid. So you have that capability. We'll erase that. We don't need to have that. Also, under the administration section, we have an integrated to-do list, which as you're doing your normal daily business, you're creating receivables and creating payables, and the to-do list keeps that all organized for you. It's an area where you can get your arms around all the important parts
it's really
of your
doing more than
business.
just accounting here. It really is minding the business.
Exactly. It's keeping track of who you owe money to. And when I mentioned traceback technology, by clicking an arrow next to an invoice, it'll bring up that original invoice. Click an arrow next to the name, it'll bring up that card file entry. Here it shows the total accounts receivable balance for that customer. You can click on that and bring up an aged receivables list for that customer. We can go back to that card file, click on the phone if you have a modem hooked up to this. Once you click on the phone, it'll bring up a contact log and you can type in your notes from your conversation with that customer. So it really does more business management with the accounting in the background rather than just focusing entirely on the accounting.
Okay, we're running MYOB on a Mac here. It's available on other platforms.
Absolutely, it's available, same technology under Windows as well.
Yeah, as was true, by the way, with CA Simply Accounting, just so our audience knows that. Thank you very much. All right, for some businesses, this kind of generic off-the-shelf software will do. For others, there are specialized vertical market packages. We went to CODY'S bookstore in Berkeley, California, where they decided to go with a custom package from IBID Incorporated.
If you can't find the book you're looking for at CODY'S, they'll order it for you. Any book. And with 110,000 titles in stock, it's the largest independent bookstore in North America. Service is fast and efficient thanks to this online inventory ordering and sales tracking software from IBID.
The heart of the system is the inventory, the reorder capabilities, returns, receiving. It manages the store's whole business that way. The cash registers are online with the inventory, so any books that are sold, it updates the record automatically, and so stock levels are accurate at all times.
We don't have to sit down here and think about how many copies of War and Peace to reorder every week. That's not a job that human beings have to do. A computer can do it much better, much more efficiently, and that means that all 100,000 titles that we carry in the store, we will be reordering in a timely manner so that they'll be available for our customers when they need it.
IBID is used primarily by independent booksellers. CODY'S has one of the most extensive internal networks with 32 terminals and a Pentium engine. Books are tracked from delivery to sale through the use of a barcode scanner. If a customer can only remember one word in a book's title, a keyword search will help find it.
The computer allows our booksellers here to have a larger memory than they might otherwise have. If a person doesn't know the author or doesn't know the title, and if we don't know what it is just from their description, we can use a couple of different tools. The best one, I think, is a keyword search. If they remember one word in the title, we can look it up.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm JANELLE Patterson.
For most businesses, you need a good basic software package that can handle word processing, budgets, customer lists, mailings, etc. Two of the most popular business bundles are ClarisWorks and Lotus Smart Suite. Here to show us how they work are Pete Heller of Claris and also over there Eric Mann of Lotus. Let's start with you in ClarisWorks, Pete. ClarisWorks is what you call an integrated package, which means it's really one software package with lots of different modules in it. What are the modules that are in ClarisWorks?
ClarisWorks provides word processing, outlining, spreadsheet, charting, graphics, database, and a communications environment. And it's all included in one single application that takes only 660K of hard disk space.
So kind of everything you need for your basic small business running is here inside ClarisWorks.
That's right.
All right, we're in the word processor right here. Show me how I would do some of these different things and move from module to module.
Okay, let's do that. So first of all, you see ClarisWorks has a very capable word processor, even with this built-in outliner. And one thing that I'd like to do is just make our document look a little more professional. So I'm going to add a column. And I can not only
So you just hit a hot button and boom, you've got two
right.
columns.
And you see that I can also control the size and the spacing of the column right here on screen. Now, to show that my customers that we're giving them the best value for the money, let's add that spreadsheet that shows a price comparison. And to do that, I'm going to
So we're a travel agency here, and we're talking about our customers who buy trips from us. Okay?
That's right. So I'm going to bring up what's called our tool panel. Here on the left side, I have access to all of these tools. I'm going to select the spreadsheet tool. And right here inside my word processing document, I've created a spreadsheet without having to go to a separate package.
All right, now this is what you call document-centric, right? I mean, you're working on a document, so it doesn't really matter what module you're in. It's whatever you need is there for this document. It's word processor, spreadsheet.
That is the whole key to ClarisWorks. That's what's made it the #1 best-selling business package on the Macintosh.
All right, so we're inside the spreadsheet piece inside the word processor now, I
Right.
guess. So how would you enter data in that?
Let's put in a price comparison. Just like in any spreadsheet package, you just enter data in the toolbar or in the entry bar, and we'll compare ours to theirs. And say for our new Borneo trip, we sell it for $1,200, and they sell it for $2,000. So you've got the idea that we can have a complete spreadsheet. And now the thing people also want to do with the spreadsheet is chart that information. So we can just select what we want to chart, and we can hit the Make Chart option. We have 12 charts to pick from. Take bar chart, and we can even add some styles to it. And voila, we have on screen a bar chart.
So again, charting module, spreadsheet module, word processing module, it's really all the same. It's this document we're working on.
That's correct.
All right, how about the other things you mentioned, the other modules that are in there?
Yeah, another thing people want to do, for example, with my brochure, we might want to mail it to a selected group from my database.
Yeah.
So let's go over to my customer database now, and let's first sort our customers to get the best ones at the top of the list. I'm going to select the number of trips. At this point, I'm going to bring up my shortcuts palette. This is an icon palette, which gives me access to the most frequently used functions in ClarisWorks. So for example, I can sort in descending order or ascending order, whichever one I want. So just by hitting a button, we've sorted. And let's say I just want to pick those people who've gone on 20 or more trips with me and only mail to those. So you can see it was
So your usual database sorting tools and so on, which are available in here. All right, so we've seen the word processor, the spreadsheet, the charting, the database. What else is there?
Well, the last thing that I wanted to show you was the capability to give a presentation right here in ClarisWorks. So I'm going to switch over to my management presentation. I want to tell my team what a great year we've had and talk about our plans for next year. So it's as easy as this. We select slideshow, and we can now even play a QuickTime movie. So I've got a complete on-screen presentation capability.
And you're loading up a video? Oh, yeah.
Here comes our video.
Pretty neat. All right, ClarisWorks. All right, we're seeing it on the, we're seeing it on the Mac. It's also available on Windows.
That's right.
And what's the price roughly?
We suggest a $299 suggested resale, and it typically sells around $200 on the street.
Real nice. Let's go over and see what Lotus has to offer here. Eric, all right, you've been watching these guys over here show off ClarisWorks. I guess Lotus Smart Suite's a slightly different approach. These are really standalone programs, right? Lotus programs that you have here, and you bundle them together in what you call a suite, a smart suite. What's the difference in your approach?
The difference in the approach is that each of these applications is designed to be best of breed in its class. So, for example, we want to provide you with the best spreadsheet and the best word processor.
So no compromise. You buy 1, 2, 3. You buy AMI Pro. You buy et cetera.
You can go. What we've done here is we put them together in a bundle, in a box. And the advantages, especially to a small company, is that the products all look and act and behave alike. So they save time and save money in training and learning the products.
Okay, so it's not literally one integrated application, but they all use the same kind of interface, so learn one, you learn them all?
Absolutely. They also share data seamlessly, so it's very simple to take data from the spreadsheet,
Can you
bring
show
it
me
into
what
the
you
word
mean
processor.
here, Eric?
Sure. Right now we're in a Me Pro, which is our word processor, and they have it has the common Lotus menus across the top, so if you learn it in one application, you know it in all.
Okay.
Right below that, we've got the Lotus Smart Icons. These are little pictures of things that you can do.
Right.
If you click with the right mouse button in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see it tells you what that button does, and you can, of course, customize which buttons you have available to you. Down at the bottom, if I select any piece of information in any document, at the bottom of the screen, we have a live status bar. It's telling you about what you've got selected and also letting you change it. For example, fonts here.
Yeah.
This is true in all the Lotus applications. Now, getting back to integration, we've talked about the user interface and how that is common across all of the applications. Yeah. If I wanted to take some information that's in 123 and bring it into a Me Pro,
exactly.
very
how
simple.
hard is it to do that?
Press a button, and a Me Pro will guide you through the process of getting your information. So I've said that I want to take information from 123. Let's say I just want to take this logo right here. I can just say, copy it to a Me Pro, and 123 will send that over to a Me Pro for me.
So they all do talk to each other, and you can move pieces from place to place.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it will guide me right back. Once I'm in a Me Pro, I can use the information as if it were created here. I can place it anywhere on the screen that I'd like to. So
okay, you can easily go from one application to another. I mean, you're in the middle of ME Pro or you're in the middle of Lotus and you can jump to the other quickly?
Absolutely.
How do you do
For
that?
example, let's say I'm in ME Pro, I've done a report for my management, now what I need to do is a presentation for a customer. ME Pro automatically outlines everything that you do, so I can choose View and choose Outline mode, and I get a quick outline of my document, and I can choose different levels. So I'm just going to choose a couple of the sections that I had in this document. I'll choose Copy. This is the same icon that you'd use in any Lotus application. And I'll use my application switcher. Up in the upper right-hand corner here, we make it quick and easy.
So that's where you can jump to any other application.
Absolutely. I'm going to click right here and go straight to Freelance. We've got a slide here created. I'm going to go to the Outline mode in Freelance, just like we had in a Me Pro. Works the same way too. And now I'm just going to paste the outline from a Me into Freelance, and Freelance will automatically create slides from it. If I take a look at one of those slides, I can also edit the slide. So for example, maybe I want to put here a chart. And I could just click here to create a chart. All the Lotus products guide you through the process of creating your document. Or, because I've already done this work once, maybe I just want to use the application launcher to go to 123 and take a chart from 123 just like we took the graphic earlier. So if I select the chart, once again use the same copy icon that I've used before, and now I'll go back to Freelance and just paste that in.
Into the presentation.
You got it. It'll automatically size and is actually even editable right within Freelance because we're taking both the data and the picture along. Once I'm done, press another button and I'm ready for a slideshow.
Terrific. All right, go through what are the different programs that are inside the Smart Suite?
In the Smart Suite, you have 123 for Windows, ME Pro, which is our word processor, Freelance Graphics, Lotus Approach, which is our end-user relational database. That means it does everything you need, but it's easy. And also the Organizer, which is a personal information manager, just like your Daytimer.
Okay, and price roughly on the Smart Suite?
The Smart Suite has a suggested retail price of $795, or you can buy an upgrade for $299.
Okay, thanks a lot, Eric. That's our look at small business computing. Stay tuned now for this week's computer news on Random Access.
In the Random Access file this week, tax software developer ChipSoft has just released the TurboTax Deluxe CD-ROM, which matches TurboTax for Windows with 6 other tax information products. Included in the TurboTax Deluxe CD-ROM are Marshall Lieb's full-motion, full-color video tax guide, J.K. Lasser's Your Income Tax, and the taxpayer information publications published by the IRS. Novell's major upgrade to Dr. DOS 6 has begun shipping. Novell DOS 7 provides NetWare client support, desktop network management, stacker disk compression, preemptive DOS multitasking, and enhanced memory management. Hewlett-Packard has doubled the memory of the HP 100LX Palm-top PC. The new version features 2 megabytes of RAM to accommodate larger data files and long email messages. The 2 megabyte version will sell for $799. HP will lower the price of the 1 megabyte 100LX to $549. And Corel Corporation has announced price cuts of up to $200 on the CD-ROM versions of Corel Draw 3, Corel Draw 4, and Corel Ventura 4.2. Corel expects CD-ROM shipments of its products to double in 1994. Ziff Davis Interactive has announced the creation of a new online service called the Interchange Online Network. Interchange is geared toward professionals with a serious interest in computing and will feature libraries of downloadable information from Ziff and other publishers. To participate in the Interchange Online Early Release Program, Call Ziff Interactive at 1-800-595-8555. And Intel Corporation has become the sole title sponsor for Professional Chess Association events. A series of 4 Intel World Chess Grand Prix tournaments will be held throughout the year. Intel says it chose to identify itself with the Professional Chess Association since most chess players are also computer users. That's it for this week's Computer Chronicles. I'm Janelle Stelson.